Hey guys, so I'm going to talk about my gaslighting story at university, okay? A lot of people will disagree with me about what happened, but to me it was quite significant, it was quite traumatic, my time at uni. I want to share the reasons why any scapegoat, any truth teller that has been bullied in uni, please, please, please do not tell anyone, all right? When I say don't tell anyone, do not tell anyone that is a teacher, okay, within the college. Do not tell anyone to do with the course itself. You need to go outside the course and get a second opinion, because the dynamics that are set up within the education system, say within that specific course, you have to be really, really careful about who and what you share, all right? Because if you get labeled someone who's too sensitive, as in my situation, it's very, very destructive, okay? It actually makes you go crazy. And I wish someone would have told me that. I wish I would have been more thoughtful, more critical about who I talked to about what I was going through at the time. So I'm just telling you all now just to watch out, okay, guys? All right, so let's get into the story of how I was gaslighted at uni, all right? And I'm going to pick a few examples of the bullying behavior that occurred to me. I'm just going to premise as well. So I actually did quite a long course. It was 5 years in total, this course, okay? Over that time, you're surrounded by the same groups of people for quite a while, okay? And there's a lot of relationships and cliques that kind of form within that cohort of students, all right? For me, all right, I'm going to talk about my situation and what exactly happened to me. I actually stayed down a few years in this course, but initially I had some groups of friends there, okay? Especially in the first, second, third year, I had a group of friends, and they were good, they were loyal, and I would say they were kind of on the outer, so they were kind of, not really. They're not really popular, okay? That the groups of friends that I had, and I would say that we were actually targeted a lot, my group of friends, by a lot of those more popular groups. And isn't it disgusting that we are adults? This is university, yet there is so much bullying that takes place in university. Like it's kind of crazy, guys. Anyway, so yeah, we were not popular by any means. We would get kind of ostracized a lot, my group of friends. Whenever we had a class alone, so I didn't have my friends there, no one basically would want to work with me. No one would want to be, my partner. Okay, so that's the first, second, and third year. I'm going to talk about the latter years that happened, and that's when the bullying really kicked in. So I would actually get a lot of taunts from people. I would be called very, very derogatory terms. Like, I think that the term they used was a simp. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. Simp. I was called. What's the other words, guys? I'm actually just driving right now to my partner's house. So I'm kind of concentrating on the road and also talking to you. So yeah, I was called a lot of derogatory words. I was called awkward. That was like one of the main things that I was called all the time. And it was so crazy because I would literally just be, waiting to go into a classroom, and someone would point to me and say, "Oh, look, there's Mr. Awkward," and it happens all the time. Okay, it was 24/7, just abuse. All right, and imagine how detrimental that is to someone's health. Other times the bullying would occur as well as just a lot of ostracization, okay, and leaving me out. So I actually was a part of this group, and it was a special group. And I was selected to do this thing for uni. Like it was like a few students that got selected. In this specific group of students, I was left out like crazy, man. And it was really weird, but they would treat me like the plague. They wouldn't want to ever kind of talk to me. They wouldn't want to work with me. And every time I would try to make conversation, they keep it short. They wouldn't ask any questions about my situation, who I was. I was always the one asking questions. And I'm sure a lot of you actually would relate to me and my situation. But this bullying sometimes was direct, sometimes was indirect, it was sometimes very covert and under the covers. As empaths, we are very, very tuned to energies, I believe, especially me. And I always knew something was off. I just didn't feel right about going to uni. I would avoid going to lectures. I would avoid going to even classes if they weren't compulsory, because I felt a lot of anxiety, actually. I didn't want to get bullied and something happened that day. Okay, guys, so this is where the story gets a little bit, you could say, sad or surprising. I actually decided to talk to one of my teachers about what was going on. That I was always being left out. I was always being, words were always being said to me. I chose to talk to one of my teachers because it was really impacting me at the time. They were empathetic to some extent, but they were also very intense. I think the person who I talked to was some sort of covert narcissist, and this person, everyone likes him. I think he's fooled a lot of people. He comes across quite genuine sometimes, but the thing is that I think that he would have told other teachers, and it just made my situation worse when I told him that I was getting bullied. I was kind of labeled as this very sensitive person by my teachers, and it's not a nice situation to be put in, man. To be labeled as a very sensitive student. And look, as an empath, I am sensitive, to some degree, but I'm not sensitive to the degree that I see things happen that don't happen to me, if you know what I mean. Like if someone is outright rude to me and I react and I tell the teacher or whatever, that doesn't mean that I'm sensitive, That actually means that what happened to me was not right, And I'm just sharing that it hurt, and I want some action taken against that student, rather than, I'm sensitive, okay? So there's a clear difference there. Anyways, I'm going to keep on talking, guys. So in terms of the gaslighting behavior, it was actually crazy. So in the later years, as I went through the course, there was one very, very narcissistic teacher that just full on used his power against me, okay? So this teacher, we would have to get things signed off by him. A few students, actually, we would have to actually get a lot of things signed off. And he would treat every single student with such respect, apart from me. So he would really limit the time that he had. So I'd say, oh, can I get this signed off? He would basically forget, or purposely forget, I believe, because that's what narcissists do when they find a nice target to get some nice supply. And he basically would just intentionally forget that I was there, all right? Even when he was talking with other students, he would deliberately ignore me and my presence. It was so disgusting, guys. It happened for weeks and weeks and weeks. He was such a weird person that when he was talking as well and kind of lecturing and teaching, he would look at me like, the narcissistic stare? I'm sure all you guys know that stare, but he would look at me through when he was talking and see my reaction. Like he would kind of monitor my reaction. And by the end of it, I had enough of it. I was like, I wanted revenge to a certain extent. So I would basically not listen. I would look at my phone. I would look at my textbook. I would act like his words didn't matter. And that really upset him. So it actually got more intense, a lot of the things that happened. So there was more ignoring. There was more acting like I wasn't even a student. It just got really, really bad. And I actually reported him again, guys. And this is such a huge mistake. Guys, if anyone has a narcissistic teacher, please do not report them to another teacher. Please, 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 because the gaslighting will get even worse. Your opinions will be invalidated again, and it will be worse this time because you know that's what happened to me. So I had bullying that happened to me. I had narcissistic teachers, and then I also had narcissistic students that I had kind of issues with. And I wish that I didn't report that, because that really kind of made everything worse for me in university. For anyone that's going through that sort of thing right now, please go see the psychologist that's outside of the course, okay? And I'm sure every single university has a counselor or psychologist that you can see as a student. I would say go see them ASAP, okay? I would even say go see the psychologist that's, like an independent private one, okay? So just a random clinic. Go to one that actually is known to help students, university, school students, that kind of thing. Just because you need that second opinion. And I would even say go a step further and go to one that's adverse in narcissistic knowledge, okay? Or that knows about narcissism, because they will even help you even more than a regular one, okay? A regular psychologist. But yeah, guys, that's my gaslighting story. And I know it's really dire. I'm actually nearly over with this course, but it's been so hard. It's been so hard. I feel like I've had to struggle through every single exam, every single thing about uni, okay? It wasn't even more so the coursework that was hard. It was actually the social side of this course that was really hard for me. The social dynamics that really caused a lot of strife throughout my time there. So yeah, guys, I hope you're all well. I hope you're looking after yourself, looking after your health. Take care of yourself, okay? Look out for one another, and validate your other scapegoats, friends' opinions. That's the best thing you can do for each other, okay? And I'll see you in the next video, I guess. All right, bye.